Today, amaMpondo are converging here where they will be discussing the judgment from the Supreme High Court of Appeal that stated a lot of issues around the kingdom issues here in the Eastern Cape or in the Pondoland. But I'm joined by the Dimagute Great Place spokesperson, Dr. Nkululeko, to tell us more what is actually happening today, because I understand that some of the issues that will be discussed is the judgment. Doctor, good morning and welcome to our show.
Morning, thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
Tell us what is going on today, because I can see that people are beginning to come inside the royal place.
Today, as you know, that the 24th of this month, it was put aside on our calendar, South African calendar, as Heritage Day. But we decided as in Dimagute Great Place, that is Mpondo Kingdom, under Her Majesty Queen, Acting Queen Nobandla, to brief the Pondos about what happened prior the death of our late king, up to the point whereby we heard about the judgment that has been out now.
So you will be discussing part of the judgment. What is it exactly? Because I understand that there are critical issues in the judgment whereby it's saying that the kingship must be set aside from Dimagute Great Place, if I'm correct. But you will correct me if I'm wrong. What is it exactly that you'll be discussing?
First of all, let me, for the point of correction, yes, let me correct you. That judgment is based on the papers that were put in front of the judge at that particular time. Bear in mind, Msasazi, each and every time the judge is laying a judgment, is making sure that he's using the information that is in front of him. We were not the one that were having a case against other side. It was them against the president of this country, Nhlapo Commission, COCTA, our provincial premier, COCTA also in the province. We were the fifth one on that one, of which usually we used not to file any papers, but this time we decided that because our king is late and we are affected by the by the judgment, so that is why we decided to appeal. And our lawyers are busy working together with government lawyers. But let me tell you and be frank with you, yesterday that side, they received the papers. Their lawyers, they received the papers from our lawyers. So actually the judgment itself, bear in mind, Gemsasas, I'm not talking about the judge here. I'm talking about the judgment. We can give it names, that judgment, because it says some of the things that are not our culture as Mpondos. There is no way that there will be involvement of public participation when you elect a king. No ways. And also the judgment is contradicting itself when it's talking about Khoisan Leadership Act of 2019, whereby the royal family must sit and decide and who must be the king. Bear in mind, Gemsasazi, when they are saying that, it means they are contradicting themselves on involving the public, on appointing. And also the judgment, it says there is no genealogy. You can read it yourself, which is an insult. That judgment is insulting us as amaMpondo, because we've got genealogy. That is why we've got our king that is lying there.
Okay, let's talk about part in that judgment that says the Nhlapo Commission's decision was wrong to strip off the kingship from aseQaukeni, and also that the issue must be discussed by the royal family. What do you make of that? What is the view of amaMpondo?
Okay, corrections again, Msasazi. It is not talking about aseQaukeni stripping off from aseQaukeni. Yes. The judgment it says, which is an administrative error. The judgment says Nhlapo Commission findings were wrong. Now the decision must be set aside. So obviously, when you set aside that decision, you affect also the presidency, which is an administration error. The administration error can be corrected if it's there, but there is no administration error if you check what I'm telling you. That is why we decided to file our papers and correct the judgment, not the judge, the judgment, because in that judgment you could see that the person that was reading that and that judgment was influenced by wrong decision, which means that is why the judgment is wrong like that. There are about 6 wrong points in that judgment, because I wouldn't like to highlight everything. Nkululeko, reason is this thing or this case is still sub judice, so I wouldn't like to elaborate more about that, but you must know one thing: that judgment is an insult to the Pondo nation that we don't have genealogy.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ngalo. That was Dr. Ngalo detailing some of the issues that are in that judgment. But of course, he's also saying that the issue is still subject to care, so he won't dwell much on that. But you understand that the issue is topical here in the Pondo land, as all these factions now are beginning to argue and debate the kingship and the kingdoms of amaMpondo. Back to you to studio.
Of course, that was our reporter Nkululeko Nyembezi just talking to us about acting Queen Nobandla Sigcau, who has, called traditional Imbizo, where leaders of the amaMpondo kingdom are, of course, having conversations amid growing tensions there. Thank you very much for that, Nkululeko. We will be touching base with him, no doubt, a bit later on in the program.